There is this picture that is going on in the social media. It's a picture of a police helicopter landing dangerously. In fact, it almost broke its tires. Uh, it's stressing me, and I have to share it with you. I don't know how many times things have got to happen, and we stomp our legs and say, no, enough is enough. We are walking dangerously, and we are rewalking dangerously. If you look from the background of that helicopter, you'll see some hills. Those are Cheptulel Hills. Those are the Cheptulel Hills. They form the boundary. They form the boundary of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet. They start from, if anybody knows the region very well, I can tell you, or those people, those of viewers of mine who stay in Lodwa. You have seen Seker Hills, where Takwel Gorge is. From Takwel Gorge, these are called Seker Hills. They go up to this place called Marich Pass. Then they go to a place called Kokotendwa. From Kokotendwa, they'll go to now Cheptulel, where this is. They'll extend northwards. On the eastern side, there is Elgeyo Marakwet County, and on the western side, there is the West Pokot County. They'll go, these are the hills that are called Leland. These are the hills that are called Leland. They go all the way to Cherengani Hills in Kitale. That is that range of mountain. Now, if you look at the back, you'll see Cheptulel Hill. The police case happened during the recent landslides. But I mean, they happened on the Elgeyo Marakwet side. It is just within a very short distance from, you see those hills, the same hills, the same Cheptulel hills, are the very same ones that separate West Pokot with Elgeyo Marakwet. Now, this incident, if it would have killed people, or if it would have happened, okay, it happened. Where it happened, it is right inside Elgeyo Marakwet. On the other side, it is in West Pokot. And it is the side that is in West Pokot that General Ogola died. Now, let me give you a good example. Although you'll forgive me for the distance. The distance here is short, but it will give you a rough idea. Assuming that Ogola's plane fell at Kino, and assume that this police helicopter which nearly fell happened at Kawangware. Now, between Kino and Kawangware, let us assume there is the Cheptulel Hill, which we could now rename to be Udhiru Hills. Let us assume there is hills in Udhiru, and this incident happened in Kino. Ogola died in Kino, and this incident happened in Kawangware. The only difference now is that the distance is not as near as it. In those remote areas, one trading center to another is a bit of a challenge. So we had an helicopter accident. It killed General Ogola. Now we have we nearly had a police accident, a police helicopter accident. We move on. That is how Kenya is. I will repeat. We have issues with our aeroplanes, especially the helicopters, and I don't know when we will address the issue. Or are you waiting for the day when the president is in one of them and then the president dies so that we address them? Because Ogola is very senior. The president uh, has three functions. The president is head of state, and as head of state is deputized by the deputy president. The president is the head of government. In the matters of government, is deputized by the deputy president. But most importantly, the president is commander in chief. As the commander in chief, the president is deputized by the chief of the defense forces. Now, number two, in security matters, died in the same area, and we have just moved on. We accept free used planes. We accept free used planes. Let me tell you, ask any driver. He'll tell you that when you are given an old vehicle, servicing it may be so expensive that at times it is even better for you to have a brand new car. So this issue of being given old choppers should stop. As we address the issue of helicopters, let us also address the issue of landlines on the border of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet. But let me talk about being given old vehicles, well, old planes. This thing has been there very longer than most of you were born. I remember it happened during Jomo Kenyatta's time. It happened during Jomo Kenyatta's time. Sorry, I have a sore throat. It happened during Jomo Kenyatta's time. Jomo Kenyatta's government approached the American president. I can't remember who it was, but the secretary for foreign affairs was then Henry Kissinger. Kenya was pushing for, Kenyatta government was pushing for supply of aeroplanes to Kenya. And America was doing this because Kenya had said that we are surrounded by hostile people. Mostly the unpredictable Idi Amin and Somalia government was supporting shifter in Northeastern. So the Kenyatta government wanted the planes. And the American government did not want to give Kenya free planes. The American government did not want to give Kenya free planes. They wanted Kenya. Now, this is what was happening. Iran was buying new planes from America. Yes, it was buying new planes from America. And it was buying under these conditions where we say, you have seen it with mobile phones. You go to the dealers, give them an old model, add some money, and then when you add some money, you are given the latest model on the market, isn't it? It's called trading. Now, Shah Mohammed Reza Pahlavi of Iran wanted new planes, F5. He wanted new planes. So it was agreed with the American government that after he trades in with the American new planes, then he can surrender the old planes to Kenya. But it happened that after he had been given the new planes, before he gave Kenya. You see, this is the trading. The Americans come and value the planes. They know that, let's say it is 30 shillings and a new plane is 50 shillings. So Iran is supposed to pay them 20 shillings so that they get the latest version, and then get the old versions to give it to back to the trader. And what would America do with old used Nini planes? So America would say, okay, give us 20 shillings or whatever. Then instead of giving us those planes, take it to Kenya. That was the agreement. And before, before that was early 1979. Yeah, by then I was in Form 4. Just before the planes were brought to Kenya, what happened was there was a revolution in Tehran, in Iran, by Ayatollah Ruhollah Khomeini. So that is how the story of the planes ended. So in Kenya, we have had that problem. We don't buy, we are given old ones. And you see, when you use old ones, the repair, as I've given an example. Two, you see, with technology, things come in. You see, these planes, they have to be computerized, they have to be placed there. So many things, modernized, digital. Now, placing new models come with the knowledge, or even they even come pre-made with those new technology. But being given a free old one, you bring other people now to fit in the new computer, fit in the new GPRS things, so many things. Let us be buying new planes. I think I've talked about the planes. Now let us talk about landslides, the border of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet, along the Cheptulel Hills. My goodness. If you look at the TV footage of those boulders, the Mwamba, those ones which are crawling down the hill to the villages down there. There is one which has stopped next to the house, a 3-bedroomed house. Now take the 3-bedroomed house. There is a kitchen. There is the kitchen in rural areas is usually out, but just an ordinary house, a 3-bedroomed house, and the boulder was just standing there next. And then you see it is just in one piece, and it is bigger than that house, and it has come all the way from the hill up. Let us address that. I do understand that such landslides have also occurred in Bukwa, in Uganda. I saw in the BBC yesterday when they were saying that it has happened in that area, and also the same thing has happened in Bukwa in Uganda. Now Bukwa is near Trans Nzoia. Actually, it is on the Ugandan side of Mount Elgon. Yeah, that is, Trans Nzoia is on this side and Bukwa is on the other side. So I understand that it is those two places, and we have to address it, the landslide. In 1985, 1985, first of all, I have to tell you that I've worked in that area. I know that area like the back of my head. I worked in Sigor constituency. I worked there in between 1985, between 1985 and early 87. It's a place I know. I worked as what today is it called Sigor sub county? Yeah, I was in charge of that area, and then that is around 1992. Around 5 to 7 years later, I was back in E10 as the deputy county boss. Now I'll say that I know that area better when I was in Sigor because I was on the ground, and we used to cover those places on foot. those of you who have been to Marich Pass, we could walk from Marich Pass to the border of Elgeyo Marakwet after walking for a week. We could be walking a whole week. We walk from morning holding barazas till evening. So it's a place I know. So I want to say that in 1985, while walking along the Marich Kokotendwa to Cheptulel Hill, those of you who know that place, we were at a place called Marich Pass. Then we hiked up the hill. Those people who go to Kilimambogo Hills, that's what we did. And then on top of the Marich Pass, we followed that all the way to Kokotendwa. Then from Kokotendwa, we went that way. By passing Lomut on one side, we went up to Cheptulel on foot, 1 week walking. We walk, we reach somewhere, we hold up, the DO holds a public baraza, then we eat, sleep. The following day, we wake up, walk all the way until we completed the week. So it is a place that I know. And somewhere around Kokotendwa, we were shown a certain hill. And that hill, when you walk there, you have to be very careful because you slide, you'll fall down. Those of you who have attended the GSU training school at Magadi, you know a place called Mount Wambua. There is one of the 3 routes to Mount Wambua. It is like that. So you pass there, careful, and you could see there's a big boulder of rock, boulder. You could see it going down. And when we stood there, we were told that what is now happening is what we were being told. That was 1985. So they were telling us that Zamani, I don't know when, rain fell and this boulder went down, and there was a village there. It fell on those people. We never picked those people. You know, Kalenjins never used to bury people. So we never picked those people. We just left it that way. We were just told it was that. Later on, my research showed me that it happened in the El Nino of 1961. The El Nino of 1961 did that. Now, from 1961, because I said let us address the issue of helicopters, security helicopters, and also let us address the issue of landslide in the border of West Pokot and Elgeyo Marakwet. From 1961 to the time of Corona, that is 2020. Corona was there in 2020. Yeah. So 61 to the year 2000, that is 31 years. Then over 50 years, it has never happened. The question we have to ask ourselves, why is it happening now? And in 1961, it only happened once. 1961, it only happened once at a village, not even in those Cheptulel hills, around Kokotendwa. Now, for those of you who have been to Turkana, Kokotendwa is roughly in the middle of Marich Pass and Cheptulel, but more nearer Cheptulel. Not more nearer Marich Pass than Cheptulel. So it has taken over 50 years, because I remember during the Corona time, there was such an incident, and I think there was somebody was. That is why medical people don't count somebody dead; they say missing. There is somebody. I think it was a lady. But on the West Pokot side, she was swept, and I think she was found alive a few days later. She was found a few days. So being swept, don't assume the person is dead. Being swept away, don't assume somebody is dead unless you find the body. So it is the same area. We have to ask ourselves how and why we have landslides now. Since 1961, over 50 years, it has not happened. It was just for the lack of a better word, because those are so much interior that tourists don't go there. But it is a place that someone would have a tourist would have gone and would be told, And the same thing is now happening. And since this is 2025, for the last 5 years, 10 times incidents have happened for the last 5 years for what had last happened 50 years before. 50 years before. Now it is happening 5 years, and it is happening regularly. I am not an expert on weather. I'm not an expert on forestation or anything. But those experts in the given field should come up and investigate and find out why these things are happening, because landslides are killing our people, both the Pokots and the Marakwet. And also, as you can see, if that helicopter would have killed those people, it would have been because of that landslide. Let us address the twin issue of landslides and helicopters. God bless you.